the main objective that I invited all the teachers from PPT Kuching is so that all the teachers in PPT Kuching are aware and know about this program. Now, CAT-Ed program is not for English teacher only, right? I think Matt will explain to you further later on as well. But only that today, our medium will be in English. Okay? And Magdaline also has represented Melta Kuching to present in Cambodia. So I'm very, very grateful that she is willing to share her experience on running the TED program with us. She is from PPT Seria, by the way. Okay, so shall I hand over to you, Magdaline?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Faith. Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Right, never mind. Let me share my screen first. Okay, this is me. Let us begin our rock and roll with TED. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to the U.S. Embassy for having us here, right? And this is our e-teacher team, right? E-teacher team. These are my team, right? And then, first of all, very high thank you to Dr. Sirhan, okay, Sarwaj, our team leader, for having us, for letting us to proceed with this activity. Okay, and we are the e-teacher alumni. Not many of you know what is e-teacher. So e-teacher is actually online courses. Yeah, you can find their website and you can find some of the courses offered. No worries, it's free of charge. Yeah, and you can choose, and it's a course that you run at your own pace. And I would like to thank Melta for letting me to stand under the umbrella, and to Melta Kuching as well. Yeah, Melta Kuching chapter. Those of you who are not members of Melta, please log in. Okay, apply, fill in the Google form, send, and become Melta member. Let us together support Melta and Melta Kuching chapter. Faith introduced me early on. I'm on fire to share this information with you. No? So the objective of our rock and roll with TED is that we hope at the end of the session, you will be able to know what is TED, differentiate what is TED, how you're going to sign for TED, how teachers can use TED in the classroom, how you're going to integrate TED Talks in your lesson, and how TED Clubs makes your students awesome. Okay? I will divide my presentation into 3 parts. First, I'll talk about TED lessons. Part 2, I'll talk about TED Talks, videos basically. Part 3, we'll talk about TED Clubs. And how can we combine or integrate TED with CFR and HIP. So basically, those who are very familiar with CFR, you would know the content areas, the focus, and the learning standards for the 4 main skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing, right? What are we going to focus on, and what will be the learning standards? And at the same time, we are going into the performance level of our students. Yeah, for the standard guide for basic users for Form 1 and Form 2. Yeah, Form 1 and Form 2. We expect them to achieve this level, level 2, level 3, and level 4. But I'm not surprised that some students, they are at level 1, right? They are at level 1. And some students, they have achieved level 5 and level 6, those advanced students. These are for Form 1 and Form 2. As for the upper secondary, or let us say Form 3 and Form 4, we expect our students to achieve these performance level: 3, 4, 5, and 6. For my students, based on their background, most of them, they are 2, 3, and 4. Some for 5, some 6, but hardly. And we have different kind of students with different background. Maybe when I said my students, they were able to achieve, okay, performance level 3, 4, but you were saying, hey, my students are advanced, they have achieved 5 and 6. That's good for you. But as for me, teaching at a rural school is a challenge that when we want students to use English in the classroom. Yeah. Next, when we are looking into TADAT and how we are going to incorporate it with HIP. As for HIP, we have in-class activities. You cannot see my slides? That is Facebook. Okay, you hold on. Let me look at my Facebook on hold for a while. Seems like the error here. Seems like most of them, they can't see my slides, right? If you cannot see my slides, you can always switch to Melta Kuching chapter. I'm live there as well. Then you can see my slides clearly, right? Melta Kuching chapter. Melta Kuching chapter, right? You can switch to Melta Kuching chapter, right? I'm on both screen at the moment, okay? I'm still figuring out how am I going to share my screen here, because seems like we are having issue to share the screen. Faith, can you hear me? Faith, can you hear me? Faith. Right, so let me continue. Yeah, let me continue. Cannot present, you see. So I want to control the channel. Try it on. But can you haven't share screen here? Yeah, manage later on. Right. So now let me proceed. Where was I? HIP. Right. HIP. So many teachers ask, is it possible that we are so exam oriented, and how are we going to use all this TED in a classroom? As for TED, we can use it in class activities to enhance our students' engagement. And as for the out of class activities, as you can see, we can immerse them using the English language outside the classroom. I'm pretty sure it's not only my students, but your students as well. They only use English during the English lessons, but not after that. And as for extra classes, we could provide it as remedial to cater to this individual needs of our students, and for outreach as well. We can combine with, we can collaborate with community and other collaborators. What we did for TED, we combined the TED Stage Day with a TED Club from Bintulu. And the main TED Club from Bintulu, they invited schools in Bintulu to join them, right? And what I did here in Syrian as well, we had our stage day. Last year was our second year. As for Bintulu, it will be their third year. And they invited school students as well to get involved. So we can consider that as the outreach program. It would be nice if we can get involvement from the other party, NGOs, corporate bodies, other non-corporate bodies especially. But so far for Syrian, I have yet to find one. Still hoping for it. Okay. When I incorporate TED in my classroom, I'll really make sure that my students will be able to, achieve these 6 key attributes. And we need to make sure that it is aligned with the national education philosophy. When we introduce TED to students, when we expose them to TED, they'll be knowledgeable for sure. They have, they'll be able to think as well. They have the leadership skills, bilingual proficiency, ethics, spirituality, and national identity. Not only that, I share with my students the Sustainable Development Goals as well. The 17 Sustainable Development Goal. Okay. Let me try to, I need to do some technical first to remove things from here. I do not know how to remove the StreamYard from the screen. Let me see. Okay, how do I go to that? Right? Okay. Okay, I'm back. So let me see. I need to move Okay, let me proceed with my presentation. Okay, where was I? So most of you will be wondering what is TED? What is TED? Yeah, what is TED? So let me share with you. TED is actually stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. Yeah, covering the three main ideas: the technology, the entertainment, and the design, and it's sharing the informative talks with people. Okay. And what is that? It is actually a
Thank you very much. Because we have too many people inside here today, interfering with the smoothness of the streaming live session. Right, please cooperate and sense. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me continue. TED is the extension of TED for sharing ideas worldwide. And TED Miss Faith introduced me as one of TED innovative educator earlier on, and I'm very lucky to be chosen as one. Yeah, it's actually a year-long professional development program. I was selected to represent Malaysia. Yeah, and if you want to know more about the program, you can always click to TED website and look for the program and when would they open up for application. I'm the third cohort. Currently, they are having fourth cohort, and I work with teachers around the world, and there are times that we could collaborate. Okay, but due to poor internet connection lately, I was unable to reach out to my TED Ed community. So how can we use TED Ed? Yeah, how can teacher use TED Ed? It is for us to amplify students' voice, develop their presentation literacy skills. Most of our students, I would say many of our students, they're very good in writing, but when you ask them to present, they hardly say a word. Yeah. Some of them, they can talk very well, but they do not have the content or the idea. Okay? And we help them to discover and share the ideas as well. In addition to that, we can support students in discussing, pursuing, and presenting the ideas during TED club and community event. Okay? The friends go to Meta website. Okay? Apart from that, we help our students to build in their confidence in the classroom, staff room pula. Not only in the classroom, but outside the classroom. And we try to incorporate the 4 language skills. Yeah, the 4 language skills. And what I'm doing now is that since my school is located at a rural area, I try to bridge the digital gap. I wouldn't want my students to be called they are way behind from technology. So I use few technology application with my students, and that is one of the way for them to stay aligned with what is currently going on with the 21st century learning. So we cannot say that students from rural schools, they are not alert to few things, the technology integration in the classroom. So I'll show you how, and I'll show you what in a minute. And how can we use TED? Yeah, we can find video content we can actually customize the video-based lesson as well. Okay, and then we engage students in a new and visual interactive way. When we bring them to watch TED Talks videos, that is when I'm telling you, students would actually open up their minds towards certain issues. And as for TED lesson as well, since it's not really focusing on our content syllabus, but we can always customize our lesson to make it suits our students. I'll show you later. I'll show you the how and the what. How we're going to create and customize lessons with TED. Again, I'll walk you through this. And here are the parts. Part 1. I have 3 parts. Part 1. Let us go to the website tour. As for the Google Meet, you can always go to Malta Kuching chapter. Go to Facebook Malta Kuching chapter if you have issues. Right? For the TED website tour, here we go. It's ideas worth sharing. This is the link to the site, a TED lesson. First of all, you need to register if you are a student, but we are all educators here. So we just click on educators start here. You click on that. Now, this is the registration process. Educators, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Yeah, it's free. Free, free, free. Then you enter your email. Make sure you have valid email. This is an example of mine. Okay, just fill in the particulars. What subject you're teaching, what age group you're teaching. It's all there. Yeah, it's all there. And you go through. Just click, click, click. It's all at the end of your fingertips. Then you come to this, and you have subjects. They have speaking, they have writing and compositions, they have linguistic, they have literature. Yeah, they have literature. You can choose. See, like I said, all the skills that we're having, TED lessons, they have it too. Okay. Now, this is the example of TED lesson. How are we going to navigate TED lesson in our classroom? This is my screen. Let me walk you through. Yeah. For example, I click on the link for the lesson.
You should be using Monday.com. It's a platform to manage any team and any
project. You will come to this. This is what is depression from Helen M. Farrell. So we will ask our students, we'll bring our students to watch this video. It's not long, it's a very short video. As you could see, yeah, it's only 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Should be no problem. You can take at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah, 10 minutes or 6 minutes in the beginning of your lesson, beginning of your lesson, or at the end of your lesson. Let them watch. Let them watch. Watch for 5 minutes. Let them think. Yeah, we need our students to think. We cannot just impart the knowledge without our students giving back to us. Okay, they will fill in basically. Dig deeper, they can read some additional resources for them to explore, and we can open for discussion. This is one example. Okay. Then the other one, to fit in, yeah, to fit in our culture. Oh, by the way, Selamat Hari Raya, Selamat Awal. Selamat Ramadan to all those who are celebrating. So this is a Bidayu dance, Rajang Batu, a needle dance that I customize, how we customize the lesson. Okay, so we watch. we watch. And again,
Stay tuned for our stories about the diversity of nature.
yeah, let the students think about it,
and
dig
dedicated
deeper,
conservation.
and then we discuss. Yeah, let them discuss.
It's time to care.
And the other lesson is David Crystal. How is the internet
Because terra matters.
changing? Yeah, changing the. Oh, hold on, I forgot to. The YouTube.
Depression is the leading cause of disability in the world.
Okay. And David Crystal, internet changing language today, teaching teenagers. There are times that we face communication breakdown. I face it too. When communicating with my children, they use the internet language, they use emojis, they use emoticons, and elderly like us, we have issues understanding all that. So this is one of the ways for us to enhance our students' thinking. If we go to the website, okay, again, we let our students watch this video. It's only 4 minutes, no issue watching it. Then we let our students think. Nowadays, there are different ways for us to communicate. How is internet changing language today? Yeah, at least we have our students' feedback. Then we dig deeper, additional resources for our students to look at. Yeah, and then our discussion, open discussion. So the students will pause their discussion here. Okay, let me close that and let me continue. Okay, I pause for a while, taking a deep breath. Now, on my screen now, you are looking at some of the feedback, the findings that I sent out, my survey that I sent out to some of my students, asking them how have TED lesson helped them in the 4 language skills in terms of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, this is just example. These are from my participants. I don't know how would your students respond, but if you look at listening, it's improved their listening, help to improve their reading, help them in their writing, and allow them to feel free and safe to speak out their thoughts to public after they watch few lessons. Okay. And if you look at this one, requires me to be more attentive. Students need to watch the lesson thoroughly in order to get the content, to enable them to get involved during the discussion. Okay, and writing. I like this. I'm not proud to say that while I seems to be sociable, but when it comes to real life communication, students face difficulties. They are very good at the end of the fingertips. They can type very lengthy, yeah. But when in the classroom, they hardly write. Now we are into the part 2 of my presentation. Okay, part 2 of my presentation. This is the link to TED Talks.
Come on, everybody. Clap your hands.
Clap your hands.
Oh, you're looking good. I'm going to sing my song. It won't take long. We're going to do the twist, and it goes like this.
Okay, let us twist with TED Talks. When we use TED Talks videos in our classroom, it is basically enhancing students' listening comprehension skills. They need to listen. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, normally TED Talks videos, the length of the video is between 6 to 18 minutes. So you need to think carefully whether you want to use it in the classroom, right? And it's a very good tool to teach vocabulary, ask students to practice their speaking skill, encourage students to think creatively when they look at the topics. The moment you show the video, they're like, I never thought of it. Okay, I will share with you later on. And introduce students to different cultures, ideas, information from around the world. I've shared videos of speakers from Africa with the students from Greta Thunberg. She's talking about the climate action, and students gave me a lot of feedbacks as well. This is once you have, remember when I asked you to register for the TED Ed lesson account earlier on. So once you have that free account with you, you'll be able to navigate to TED website. Okay, it's free. You can navigate the TED Ed lesson and TED Talk as well, and TED Ed Club as well. 3 in 1. 3 in 1. As for the video, you can choose. You can choose the video, the duration of the video, the length of it, 0 to 6 minutes, 6 to 12 minutes. Depends on lesson. Depends on the content that you want to share with your students. And as for the topics, for the topics, you will see there are different kind of topics for you to choose from. Remember, educators, please be very selective when you want to share the videos with your students. There are times that we need to share some sensitive issue with the students, but there is again an exposure, not really to say sensitive as in gender issue or race, religion, but some things rather that it's a taboo in our society. Okay, and these are the feedbacks from my students when I asked them to share with me how TED Talks video have helped them in terms of listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Look at the reading. This student says that enhance his reading skills. It's writing helped me in additional information to make the writing content interesting. And speaking, as I mentioned earlier on, there are some taboo topics that are shared by TED Talk speakers. Okay, and look at the last here. Feel confident to state my idea to other people. That's the purpose of us sharing TED in our classroom. We would really want the passive students to be active in the classroom. Not really active, but at least at the beginning of it, they will hesitate to participate. I experienced that when I first introduced TED in my classroom, since it's something very new, they hardly respond back. At my current school, it took me a year to observe the students. Now, I did not do anything. I mean, TED, I did not do TED with my students as they're not familiar with it. When I started using TED 5 years ago at my former school, the students were very responsive because it's something new and they always wanted more and more and more. And if you look at this writing here, easier to write an essay. Why is it easier to write an essay? Because they have listened to a lot of talks, a lot of information, and they got that idea. Okay, by listening, they jot down and they speak about it. And here as well, I learned proper ways to pronounce words, which is very true. By listening to what they were saying, I learned proper same ideas. Then I gained more ideas when doing essay. As you could see, when they watch TED Talks videos, it's actually helping them in their writing. When I present TED, many teachers will ask, how will it help my students in their exam? How? So teachers, you try it out first, then you know whether it works or not. I've tried and I've seen students, their ideas, their mind, they're blank during writing the essay. But this is one of the ways for you to help them out, substituting information. Look at this. 2 TED Talks. I'm unstoppable. That's how I feel. I'm on fire, right? And this end here, the students got lots of ideas by watching TED. Activities. These are some of the evidence. I'll show you the how. I've shown you what, and now it's the how. So for the activities, yeah, for our activities, I'll be sharing with you a TED video to this day for the bullied and beautiful by Saint Cousin. If you look at the duration, it's 12 minutes and 3 seconds. You ask yourself whether you're going to use this video in your classroom. But what I'll do, I'll always use it as flipped classroom. I ask students to watch videos before and few days before. Simply, the most is 1 week prior. Some students, they do not have internet access. As how to solve it, we will talk about it later. Before, pre-while pause. If we would talk about pre-while pause. Now, I've shared with you the CFR and the HIP earlier on. When I share this, now I'm sharing with you the exam. How are we going to help students to enhance their ideas? Okay. First, we brainstorm the ideas before we watch the videos. We have the topic, a bully. Students will be poor. They have lots of ideas on what to write about bullies. We can ask them to do, I think, we can ask them to do think, pair, share, and we can do 4 corners with them. Right? Brainstorming, pre-while pause for this video. Next, students, some of them, they prefer to work individually. Some, they really need their friends to work with them. So we cater to the students' need. If you see that students, they really like or enjoy doing solo activity, give them that space. But at least ask them to work in pair. Ask them to work in groups, and you will see the results. And based on that video, yeah, pre-while pause, again, I will talk about it. We ask students to think of the main ideas. If you have good students, you can ask them to find more than 5 ideas. I'm pretty sure you have more than 5 ideas. But like my students, if they have 1 idea, I'll be very grateful. If they can come up with 2, 3 ideas, that would be nice, just nice. Okay? And from that, how TED Talk videos can actually help students with their vocabulary while listening. I always include the, the subtitle for the video, so that the students, as they listen, they will read the subtitle and they will look at the words. Some of the words they might not understand. Okay. And those who are really exam-oriented, some of us, we are preparing our students for exam, like myself. I'm teaching from 5 students. So I'll use this. Based on the video, they can write formal letter of complaint. Perhaps they can write email to their friends talking about how to overcome bullies. Informal letter talking about their experience of being bullied, article, report. And as for current posters, art teachers, remember, this is not only for English teachers, art teachers, science teachers. I couldn't think of maths though. I'm very poor in maths, so I couldn't think of numbers to be integrated in TED Talk. But TED lesson, yes, we will go back if it's needed. Since May is the Mental Health Awareness Month, we talk about health. Yeah, so we can ask students to draw, create cards and posters. This is writing, yeah, and thought sharing via Padlet. If your students are very good in writing, then you can open up for journal entry. My students, Padlet will be enough. Yeah, it will be enough. Some even hesitate to type. And if we were to focus on speaking, we can always ask after the video session, ask students to do thought sharing with their classmate within the classroom. HIPA, speakers comments. Every schools we have it, primary or secondary schools, we have it, right? So use that platform for your students to share the main ideas or the content or any videos or any TED lessons that they have watched. Yeah? English segment during assembly, or if you have your radio wave, or like at my school, we have our Tabakang wave, and students will be sharing some of the information. Yeah? And I use Flipgrid. I'm trying to push my students to speak still in the process. It takes time. And as for listening, we could try to do jigsaw listening. We can ask them to do pair or in group. Yeah. And this is the thing. This is the slip that I'm using when my students watch the videos. I have this, the pen and paper, the hard copy, and I have the soft copy as well in Padlet. I'll show you later. So let's go back to this video, to this day for the Brilliant and Beautiful. They watch it, make sure they watch they write their names, their class, and the date that they watch the videos. So what have they learned from the top? The issue mentioned, of course, is belief. Okay, what's the question? Don't limit your students to ask one question. Let them ask you a lot of questions, and we have topics to discuss. Okay, from that video, vocabulary, teaching vocabulary. As they watch the video, I told you before that I always put subtitle, so that my students will be able to, as they listen, they will be reading at the subtitle and they'll be looking at some unfamiliar words. So they write it down. If they have more than one word, more than one vocabulary, it's okay. If it's more than 3, it's okay. Yeah. Some students, they are able to find the meaning, but they won't be able to write the example sentence. You must be wondering, why is the Malay word there? Okay, why is it a Malay word? Why is it a Malay word? There are times that we find difficulties to explain the meaning in English. This is a direct translation. We need a direct translation. Sometimes, not all the time, to explain things to our students. I'm not explaining, but the word itself will be able to explain. The moment they look at the word mewarisi, they will be able to know what is the meaning of inherit, apologetic, and love. Right? This is example of vocabulary. Now I've shared with you, as you could see earlier on, I go back here, okay? We have the speaking, right? We have the writing, we have the listening, and this is the vocabulary part. This is used, this slip is used for TED Talk videos. I use a different slip when we do TED lesson. Okay, for example, this topic, what is depression, aligned with the Mental Health Awareness Month. What is depression? Okay, we watch the video. Remember, when we watch this video, let them watch, let them think, then dig deeper and discuss. Okay, for example, and I'm using this slip, the names, the title of the TED lesson, the title, for example, here, the title, what is depression, and this one is how chronic stress affect your brain. So this is the form that I'm using, right, for TED Talk videos and TED lessons. Okay, teachers, those who are really exam oriented, I'm pretty sure you would want to try this. Watch the TED lesson, watch the TED videos. You try to apply it in the exam format, whether it works for your students. You can extract some of the infos as for the main ideas, the 12 main ideas as the content of the genre that you are introducing to your students, right? So we are done with activities. And now I'm going to walk you through the next one. I said to you that I'm bridging the digital gap for my students. When I first came to that school, Padlet is not a thing. Flipgrid is not a thing. Yeah. So here we go.
I'm ready.
So this is my main page for my Padlet. This is for my Form 4. I have for my Form 4 and my Form 5 as well. So in this particular Padlet of mine, our class, my class, I'm the form teacher of Form 4. So I have the column for poems, short stories. We have writing, information on writing. We have grammar. We have a presentation here. Students will upload their presentation here. I always ask my students to do literature presentation for poems and short stories. As Form 5, they are doing the presentation for novel. We are doing Captain Nobody. And I have a column as well, especially for my TED. We have, when we hit with this pandemic, I asked students to watch this video. Remember, it's flipped classroom. I uploaded it in our Google Classroom. Students watch video 1, video 2. I always make sure that at least a month, not every week, not every day. Yeah, a month, once a month, TED lessons and TED Talk video. Remember when I show you the earlier slides, I said I introduced the Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah, so when they watch this, we could actually connect it to the Sustainable Development Goals. We can talk about climate action, global goals number 13 by watching this video. And when we watch this, Bill Gates, the next outbreak, this video was published in 2015. Yeah, seems like he predicted the outbreak. So students watch it, and we can relate it into the Sustainable Development Goals. Global goals number 3, good health and well-being. So I arranged my video 1, video 2, and then video 3. This is the one that I'm talking to you. The speaker is from Africa, and they are learning new culture. When she talk about the African culture, which is something very new to, I would say, to my students, their cultural background, and we are introducing something new to them. Okay, and lesson as well, bipolar disorder. They might learn this one somewhere. We can incorporate it with other subject as well. So lesson 2, we have lesson 3, the secret language of trees. We have video 4. We stopped at video 4. All right, and we have few feel free to navigate to the TED website and know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me go back. I showed to you earlier on how I bridge the digital gap with my students at this Padlet as well. I think it's almost everything there. I always say to my students, I don't give notes to my students. There's no pen, paper, notes. No notes. Yeah, no notes at all. It's all here. So if they said, teacher, I don't have my notes, the way I answer them, it's all in Padlet. You download it, you copy it, and you will have your notes. This is basically encouraging students to do their own learning, yeah, self-regulated learning by our students. How they help themselves, encourage themselves, independent learners. Okay, and this is another Padlet of ours. After they watch the video, after they watch the TED videos, if they don't fill in the slip that I showed you earlier on, they can share their thoughts in Padlet. So we go back to 4 months ago when we started. Okay, so make sure we ask. Students will definitely ask. Remember, I showed you, I told you about the video earlier, The Bullied and Beautiful by Shane. So these are the students' responses. Okay. They will respond. Not all, not all, but they will definitely respond. So when you look at this, when I look at this as well, first, I help them with their writing, help them with their reading. Before they even type, they need to read their draft, whether they should type or whether they should write those kind of questions. They will definitely do pair or group discussion. For example, these students, they work in pairs. Yeah, solo students, they work in pairs, they discuss and question how to avoid ourselves from being bullied. A very good question. How can we help those victims? Okay. If you want to collaborate, I would want to collaborate with other teachers from other schools, other students as well. This is the link to my Padlet. Yeah, we should collaborate. I would love to get feedbacks from your students as well, based on the videos that you shared with them. That is Padlet. And another thing is that my students are very shy. I'm shy too. Well, sometimes, not always. I will answer some of the questions later. Let me finish up my presentation first. I think I exceed time. So Flipgrid. I think not many teachers are familiar with Flipgrid. I have introduced you Padlet. You are familiar. Flipgrid, on the other hand, many of you, I think you're not familiar with it. This is how I'm bridging the gap with my students. So video here. Okay, after we watch the video, I said to my students, some students, they will watch and they will write their feedbacks on Padlet. And those daring students who dare to speak, yeah, they will use Flipgrid. So these are some of the videos from my students when they watch the bully video. How are you going to navigate to Flipgrid? Again, I would love to hear from you and your students how we can collaborate. Just click on the plus button. I'm on. Do you know that a 30-second video, my students would spend 3 days to prepare themselves to be recorded. 3 days in advance. So just click on the record button. Wait for the time. Okay, wait for the time. And we are good to go. Recording. blah, 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 say something. Time. Okay. And your next, right? You can take selfie. If you want that video, you can always repeat. If you think you are not satisfied with the video, then you pre-record it. You record. You can upload an existing video as well beforehand. You can record the video and you can upload if you're too shy or if we have poor internet connection. So it enables us to, we are unable to use Flipgrid on the spot, right? So that's Flipgrid. So confirm. I'm not going to, are you sure you want to exit recording? Yes, confirm. I don't want to record myself. It's just a demo for you. Okay, so that is Flipgrid. I think I'm done with Flipgrid. I think I'm done with Padlet. This is my Padlet. So I'm back to the presentation. Part 3.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, part 3. Talent clubs. I'll explain them. So, Talent club is actually a club where students are able to share their ideas. It's just like your, what do you call it, your English club, your public speaking as well. But it's good for students to convey message and get message from other students from around the world. So this Talent club actually, it's a program that supports students in discovering, exploring, and present their big ideas in form of short TED style talk. It's not TED talk, but it is TED style talk. The TED talk will be those professional who stands on that red dot on TED stage. Yeah, but students at the club, it's TED style talks. Now, what are the goals of TED club? The goals: stimulate and celebrate students' creative ideas, make them become problem solvers, critical thinkers, and innovators in these 4.0 revolutions. Connect students with with other students and educators from other part of the world. At my former schools, we did a Connect Week with Talent Club from India and South Korea. We have yet to try to connect with schools or students or clubs from Europe and States due to the huge time gap, but it's always a challenge to try. Okay, so these are the goals of Talent Club. And the meeting outline, it is something similar to our extracurricular where we have 12 to 16 meetings. As for TED, Talent Club, they are having 12 exploration as well. So it's equivalent to our extracurricular meeting, our KK. Again, my findings, how Talent Club help students with their listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Help to improve listening, because during the meeting, we will normally ask students to share ideas. So when students are sharing ideas, we ask students to listen to their peers' ideas. It's very rude for us to let one student speak and the other speak as well. So let them listen. Reading, before they even present, they should read. Yeah, they should read. And after they read, they need to write. Yeah, they need to write something. And after reading and writing, they'll be able to speak. Talent Club give me confidence in talking and speaking for my daily routine. I would like to share with you what do you call it? I would call it evidence. In my former school, I have few speakers who hardly speak in classroom. When you ask them questions, they will basically nod and shake their head. So I approached them. I asked them, "Do you want to speak?" And they said, "No, I don't have the confidence to speak in front of the crowd." I persuaded every month, every week, almost every day. I asked these particular students to speak. Finally, yeah, towards the end of our club cycle, they spoke for more than 6 minutes on their favorite topics. Yeah, we have that kind of students. Yeah, we have that kind of students. How are we going to apply for TED Club? This is the link given to you. You can apply, but before filling out the form, you need to log in. Remember the account that I asked you to register earlier on? When you click on TED lesson, you can use that particular account to fill in, yeah, to log in. But if you did not sign up for that particular account, then you can click here. And you have to know that all your application is will thoroughly be reviewed by TED team from New York, the HQ, TED HQ in New York. Once they have reviewed and reviewed your application, they will send you an email giving you the approval to start your TED Club, and you will have the, what do you call it, video interview with personnel from TED HQ. A very simple interview, just to get to know you. So let me walk you through to the application. Okay, so this here, you register. Okay, let's get started. This is the page basically. Okay, this is the page. You go to. The link. Which link? Right, we go to. Let's get started. So, for you, since you don't have the account, you register. Okay, like me, I have my account, so I just need to log in. Remember to fill in your particulars. Yeah, I have 2 accounts. Okay, you'll come to this. Skip it for now. Yeah, skip it for now. Okay, and you fill in here. Right, you fill in all the particulars. Okay. And when you register, you see educators, you start here. Okay, you start here, educators, no students here. So just go through, yeah. Okay, what if I were to register? So remember the screenshot that I shared with you? We come to here, right? So just fill in the particulars needed. Yeah, here you go. Right. Give it a shot. If you have any question, then feel free to post your question. Yeah, later on. You can choose. Yeah, you can choose for the month of the registration. me show you again. Let's get started. And I'm going back to this page. So right, since I have my what do you call it, my account here, so I can, let's say if I want to renew, yeah, if I want to renew, yeah, renewal application. Renewal application, so new application. I will navigate to you how you're going to apply. So here, cikgu, yeah, teachers, okay, teachers. Are you applying as a student or adult? So click on adult. How are you going to use the TED Student Stock Program? Okay, right? As an, I would say I will use it as an extracurricular activity at my school. So you fill in the particulars as well. The name of your school, that's the name of my school. Yeah, blah 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 blah. State, please select. If you have website for your school, then have it. I don't have website for my school. And here, educators, when are you going to start? Now we are almost towards the end, mid-year. So basically, they will always have January. If you look here, they have January. When you plan to start, if you say you want to start August, yeah, let's say August or September. Let us choose for how long. If you start in September, then for how long? If it's only for 3 months, then 3 months, October, November, December. You will end in December. As for me, I will always choose 9 months. But here, September, mine is January, February, the beginning of the year, February, and my cycle will end in October this year. Okay, so please be very selective. If you say that you want to choose for 3 months, you have to ask yourself, what can you do within 3 months? Will you be able to see your students' development? Okay, go for 9 months or 12 months, then you could really see how they develop. And your group students, describe your students. If you're teaching in primary school, click here. We do have one TED club from primary school. So shout out to that teacher who set up TED club at our school. Okay, thank you for joining me. If you're teaching, let's say from only from 1, from 2, from 3, year 6, then you can choose this. As for my students, I'll choose high school. Yeah, high school. Can you confirm that the students participant represent the age group mentioned? Just click yes. Right? They are not university or college. For your information, college or university students who are above 18 years old are not allowed to join TED Club. They will join TEDx, not for TED Club. TED Club is only meant for students age 8 to 18 years old. Please take note, teachers. Yeah. How did you hear about this program? Since some of you are listening it from me now, whatever indicator that you want, just click. Would you like to be contacted? Say yes, teachers. Don't say no. If you say no, you will not get any information. Yeah, you will not have that sharing with you. So click yes. Are you a member of any TED communities? If you're not, none of the above, then you just skip it. Like me, I'm TED Innovator, and I'm one of the TED Masterclass participants and fill in some particulars, what motivates you to get involved with the program, blah, blah, blah. Then agree. If you want to submit, you can start to submit. If you want to save your draft first. I would always encourage you to save the draft first, and then you go through. As you TED Club's page, you need to read through. Okay, that is TED Club. Now, if you choose the cycle 3, 6, 9 months, at the end of the cycle, you have what we call it TED Stage Day, where students should be presenting their ideas. Only students from TED Club will be able to present their TED style talk presentation. Yeah, not other students from other clubs. Only those who are TED Club members. However, you can invite other students from other schools to share their pitching ideas. Yeah, this is one of the ways for you to promote TED Clubs to other students or other schools. Yeah, and at the end of your TED Stage Day, you can always upload your presentation, your videos to TED HQ. They will select, yeah, they will review your videos. If your students are lucky enough, ta-da! They will be selected to join TED Weekend. New York, and they have the chance to stand and present their TED style talk presentation on that red dot. Okay, I guess I'm almost towards the end of my presentation. Let me go back to the objective of my sharing for today. I do hope that by now you are able to know what is TED, what is TED, how to sign up for TED, how teachers use TED, how you can integrate TED Talks in the lesson, and how TED Clubs make your student awesome. If you want to reach out to me, you can do so. This is my contact info. Okay, survey time. I have to apologize to you for the technical error earlier on. Frankly speaking, this is my first time presenting online. It's kind of awkward to present while you are sitting. I'm used to stand while presenting. So this is the survey to enable you to get your e-cert. Please scan. Yeah, fill in the Google form. Use the email address. Okay, whatever email address you are using, and your e-cert will be sent via that email address. Yep, e-cert, yeah, e-cert. Okay, done scanning. And this is your attendance. You can scan. Yeah. Okay, so then, yes. Yes. Okay. So I guess Thank you for listening and watching. Yeah, I hope you'll be able to rock and roll with that in your classroom. Faith, I love rock and roll.
The banner is black and white.
This morning. Thank you for your overwhelming support. We have around 675 participants online. Congratulations, Meg. And I would really like to thank Meg for her precious time and the program with all of you. I hope you get beneficial info. And sorry for the technical hiccups in the beginning because this is the new norm. I'm trying to introduce streaming to all the teachers in teaching. Actually, you don't have to be the reading room, but just watch it as an audience. But it's okay. This is the first time we run it, so I hope that we will have smoother sessions in the future. And regarding the questions, there are a lot of questions in the area. I hope that I can answer them one by one after this session. And of course, a lot of teachers ask about whether it is suitable for different kinds of levels and different schools. But I think TEDx is a platform, right? So how do you utilize it? It really depends on creativity and also the way how you integrate that with the students and the student, right? I will ask Zach to show the QR code again. And please just click the QR code on the screen. We will keep it on for maybe 5 minutes. You can quickly screenshot or you can also scan it. Either you scan it or you screenshot it to put it later. Now for the attendance code, I will switch off. I will switch off 1 hour at the beginning. I will switch off 1 hour now.
Buat di sana. Itu yang nak aku tak.
Ada. Screen ada. So, are we done with the survey form? Are we done with it? Oh, okay.
iPhone here, you can scan.
No, regardless of the device. I will try to read some of the questions. Let me see. Questions. I'm scrolling up and down for questions. Questions. I did not see any questions. Okay. Wow, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. Is there a link to survey? Yes. Cikgu Bonjit, we have shared. Okay. Next. Is there a minimum number of participants in TED Club video conference? Joy Laijo. To answer that, there's if you have 30 students, then you have one facilitator. And if you have more than 30, then you need to have second advisor for the club, right? You cannot only one man show to handle the club, right? Oh, hold on. Yeah, let me see. I need to can I have the link for attendance? Yes, you got it now. Too fast, sorry. Okay, can you share the link for feedback? Okay. Question. Faith, are we done with the survey form?
I said the school name must be in number. How do you fill it in if it must be in number?
Don't so much. Okay.
It also fill, yeah, but why does it not fill in there's number?
Okay. Right. Faith. Okay, now I'm scrolling up and down to look at the questions.
Magdalene, hold on 1 second, okay? Because in Google Meet, they cannot see your screen.
Until now?
That's why I told, okay, cikgu yang berada di dalam Google Meet, tadi saya minta cikgu tengoklah di dalam Facebook Live because you can see the code there, right? And as the form, your school name, just key in the school code number.
Okay, let's see. I think I removed the banner already, the blocking banner, right?
Yeah,
So should be no issues scanning the QR code, right? Okay, I'm scrolling up and down before I end the broadcast.
For you to, those of you who have lagging issue, you might want to like close your Google Meet and then you just focus on your Facebook because I think you're opening up too much and then that's why your line is cannot support it, right?
Here a request Faith can upload the code on Melta Kuching chapter page. Can we do that later?
Sorry?
There's a question there. Maybe can upload the code on Melta Kuching chapter page.
What code? The QR code? Because I think I will switch it off. I will switch it off after 1 hour. Is that okay? If we post the code and then we will switch it off after 1 hour.
Yeah, only for 1 hour. Huh? Okay, what else? Any more questions?
The school code.
The school code, filling details. Okay. So basically, there's nothing much questions on TED Ed. Most of your questions, most of the questions here are on the QR code. It's not.
And you must use your MOE ID to fill the form for SPLG.
Okay, I have a question here.
Yes.
Okay, the question here asked, wow, six questions here. I'm reading it from phone. How do you ensure your pupils stay online from the beginning till the end of your lessons using TED Talk? Be with them, Cikgu. Okay, if you are teaching primary schools. Even for my secondary school students, I'm there with them to monitor them. We cannot expect students to watch the video on their own. It's not cartoon or it's not the high class movie or Hollywood box office that they are watching. They are watching TED Talks video. So be there with them, okay? Be there with them. Next question is that, do you think TED is suitable for primary school students? As I mentioned earlier on, TED Ed it's for all.
Meg, excuse me, Meg. Can you please leave the QR code on your screen? Because they cannot see in Facebook. Don't show your whole screen. Just leave the QR code there, yeah, while you are answering your questions.
Okay.
Next one, the SPLG.
Oh, the SPLG. All right. So, second question: do you think TED is suitable for primary school students? As I mentioned earlier on, yes. After you register, then you can select the video that suits your students' level. If you know your students better, you know the level of proficiency, their language proficiency. So if they are primary schools, you're not going to show something extraordinary to them, show them physics or biology, right? Question number 3, how many primary school pupils are able to use the no limitation, cikgu? Yeah, teachers, yeah, no limitations, as many as possible. How to apply in primary school? How to apply? If you look at this slide, cikgu, you can copy that. Now, how to apply, regardless whether you're from primary or you're from secondary school. This is my referral code. I'm offering you know that from me. So that's my referral code. You just click on that link and you go through the questions. I think I've shown you before. Yeah, the question you just fill in, regardless whether you're from primary or secondary school. Do you have to register ourselves? I don't really get this. Do you have to register ourselves for what? Yeah. What's the difference between GC and Padlet? We can incorporate Padlet in GC and we can incorporate GC in Padlet as well. So nothing much different. It's all platform, how we use the platform. If you prefer GC to deliver your information, go ahead, by all means. If you prefer Padlet to deliver, then by all means, right? Just use it, whichever suits you. Okay. The QR code again. Bring your students to New York. Send them to New York. F.
The online click submit because the QR it does not accept alphabets. It only accepts numbers.
So Faith. Oh, back foot.
See, she also asked, very good. Can I just the code?
So Faith, I think it's time for me to go now, Faith. Yeah.